Salve, salve galerinha! Ana aqui trazendo mais vídeo pro canal. Galerinha, hoje nós vamos dar continuação aqui no Genshin Impact. E no vídeo de hoje a gente vai estar fazendo aqui a missão do Arconte, né, dando continuidade aí pra gente finalizar todas as missões do Arconte. A gente vai pegar aqui Segredo do Deserto Ardente, né? Então a gente tem que adiantar o horário ali para 8 horas do dia seguinte. Espero que vocês gostem, deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal caso você não seja inscrito, vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber notificação dos vídeos. Eu não sei se vou ter que dar. Eu tenho que adiantar mesmo. Tá. Ok. Reúna-se na entrada da vila. Aqui embaixo.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have every-
I'll watch from a safe distance.
Okay, let's-
Dia, wait,
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, and
Fine.
Então galerinha, estamos chegando aqui no ponto. Aqui embaixo ali, ó, tá as pessoas.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by...
Is everything ready?
Absolute. You brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word.
It's a one-for-one exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon...
You stay right there.
Ixi, vai ter pancadaria? Ixi, vai ter animação.
Playmate! What do you think you're doing? Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Paimon's dizzy.
This day's going just...
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. It glowed green with Dendro. Just like you said. And the Dendro Archon.
Grandpa?
Hey,
Did there used to be a temple here?
it seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these The symbols on the gate belonged to King Deshret's civilization. It could have been an underground palace in the...
Oh, a miracle. Praise King!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He...
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted...
He's not actually...
As it happens, I want...
What are you
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame.
Paimon thought you weren't interested.
Indeed. In my new discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have...
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret.
Ok, vamos entrar aqui, né? Ah, vai ser uma instância. Tá.
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked...
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so...
Sir Raman,
Huh?
do you see it?
Are you mocking me?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King...
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as...
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true...
Tá. E vai ter... Olhe para cima no corredor com um mortal e escute a orientação divina do rei de Shire. Olha. Ah, mas... Tá, entendi. Tem que colocar o pessoal sentado, virado para lá pro corredor, né? E aí? Ah, quando tá girando aqui, gira tudo. Ah, não, peraí. Tá, entendi. Esse aqui gira todos. Tá. Esse aqui gira aqueles dois ali. E esse aqui gira sozinho. Aí, tá. Era isso. Esse aqui gira sozinho, esse aqui gira os dois, esse e aquele, e esse aqui gira os três. Então tem que consertar, né? Começando por aqui. Conserta primeiro esse, depois conserta esse, né? Colocando a figura do carinha sentado. E aqui a gente deixa isso por último, porque ele só gira sozinho. Ok. Tem uns buracos aqui, dá pra dar uma olhada. Tem um baú.
Can't handle your drink. Huh. Scatter. By royal decree.
Ha! Burn!
Propagate. Yeah. Odds.
Ha!
Ó, o elevador descerá até o chão. Suba nele antes que comece a subir novamente. Para alcançar... A gente vai ter que ativar aqui. Para pegar o outro. Tá. Aí. Chegamos na parte de cima.
Verdict is...
Spring forth!
Tá. Oxi. Loucura, loucura, loucura. Tá, a gente vai ter outro puzzle ali das caixinhas. Quando ativa um, desativou 3. Não. Tá. Vamos ver se aqui embaixo tem um texto. Bora ver se a gente encontra algum texto por aqui, né? Explicando o que a gente tem que fazer. Ah, tá. Ok. Tá. Aê. Tá. Esse aqui... Ah, o que foi? Não, aqui é pra descer, né? A gente vai descer até o subsolo. É, até o subsolo. Cada dispositivo daquele ali parava um mecanismo de rodar, né? Então da esquerda parava o da esquerda, o da direita parava o da direita e a gente teria que colocar na ordem certa, né? Até ficar azul tudo ali.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
Ó, foi aí. Ó. E já é o final? É, teleporte aqui, né? É. Será que vai ter um boss, alguma coisa? Continue, né?
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Ó, vai ter historinha, né? Tá.
Wait, what's that?
A load of
Cachorro louco.
flowers! And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of...
You can read ancient King Deshret?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before...
He's not serious.
There's still something off about this place. The element, the scent of life. Is it...
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite.
Isn't sharing knowledge against...
Yes. However, under the circumstances, you'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So...
but this doesn't make...
Was that the former Dendro Arc?
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last...
I've never heard about the surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our... We saw her as nothing more than a traitor. He stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't... How could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known.
Rahman, give it a rest. You're starting...
My Eremites and I.
Hey,
Oh, I should probably go.
what's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. But please, give me some time.
It's not gonna be...
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp...
When would be a good time for us?
Tomorrow, I'll convince her, and I'll return every last one of your mad... your village keepers.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to fake.
That must have been rough. But he...
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the it's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed...
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back. Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Galerinha, vamos lá, né? Pegar os estudiosos de volta. Vai ficar aqui na parte de baixo. Vamos seguir em frente, né? Estamos chegando no esconderijo dos eremitas.
Ramon?
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the...
I guess all I can...
Don't mention. But we share a
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can...
We've been all over the desert trying...
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they...
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy
They, wanted to...
Don't play dumb. They extract divine canned knowledge.
I don't...
Well, you better start talking or...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought the Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he asked them, do you...
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the...
First, the Academia spent a long... After that, they harvested dreams via the Seb Zerus with the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency. They were able to... Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of...
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words...
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect. This is but a form of phototaxis.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali... Is she not a true god present in this world? If you...
From the beginning, the Academia has... When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept, not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's Gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the
All right, let's try to keep our cool. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the...
Sure.
Voltaram na cidade.
The village keeper.
Yeah. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can...
Oh, Paimon!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some info?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand,
What a whirlwind of a story.
It seems like there'll be more issues to...
Still, now's a good time to make our next move.
It's time to
Indeed. These events...
So, everyone...
crush the sages and rescue our
Well, let's bring...
The next time we gather...
yep, it'll work.
Então, Silvaninha, concluímos aí a missão, né, do Arconte. Segredos do Deserto. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal. Caso você não seja inscrito no vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber a notificação dos vídeos. E a gente vai ficando por aqui. Valeu, falou e fui!